I'm saying any younger player you think
better.
Doesn't seem possible at this point.
Any younger player on this team that you think
he better
can turn into something.
I'll tell you what. I mean,
I don't know.
Aside from Nesmith, if he holds up to what some people think he might be, I mean, I would hope that he could maybe crack the top 100 someday. But anybody on the roster that's not a rookie that I haven't seen play.
Oh, wait, you mean this year, right, John? Or are you talking about in general?
Just ever.
Right now,
just ever.
You got the Celtics have him in the fold right now. In a 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. At any point in time, could you see any of these? At any point in time, do the Celtics have a player that's top 100 worthy or top 50 worthy?
Listen. I mean, Robert Williams, I don't know how he's going to get an opportunity to ever crack that if he's like third or fourth on the depth chart this season. I don't know what their plans are for him. But if Nesmith can come in and become a shooter, now all of a sudden he's getting regular playing time, I can see him cracking the top 100. I'm not talking about a top 20 player, but any guy that can be consistent from the outside, I think he can crack the top 100. So maybe he's my pick. But other than that, listen, Romeo, I don't know at this point. I mean, we haven't seen it. We haven't seen him play. Who the hell knows? Grant, I don't see that really in his future, at least not immediately. You can go down the line with some of the younger guys that I mean, Taco Fall, who knows? I mean, Taco Fall could all of a sudden get some.
Robert Williams,
that was John's guy.
Speaking of Robert Williams, my one of my preseason bold predictions is where he'll be a more useful big man than Tristan Thompson by the end of the year.
Wow. That's my take. Well, look at Bam Adebayo.
You'll be looking for more Robert Williams minutes than you'll be looking for Tristan Thompson minutes. That's what I'm saying.
Sizzling take.
I'm saying Tristan Thompson's going to be a situational, but you're going to be looking for Robert to be doing big things.
I'm not going to hop
Cantor.
on that.
You're saying Cantor 2.0?
So Robert's a guy. You see it. You see it when he goes in. We saw it in the bubble. The efficient scoring, the shot blocking, the athleticism, all that stuff. He showed it. And there was a time where we imagined him being a serious part of what they were doing there in the bubble during the playoffs. He got so close and fell just short when that pick and pop got thrown at him. So it's minor details that he needs to fix up. And he's in year 3. So we haven't seen a ton of them. The health's a big concern. But I look at all the guys on the roster, and I'm glad Jimmy brought him up because he has the look of a guy who could get within that top 100.
Don't you see one day you're going to walk in and he's going to be a completely different human, not just physically. He's just going to be more focused and all over the place. You'll be like, oh my God, what about this guy? I'm not saying it'll happen. I could just see it possible. Because of the physical profile.
It's more than possible. I mean, it's there.
I see one day all of a sudden it's your buddy who grows up, who grows 6 inches in 1 year and doesn't know what to do with himself. And he turns around, he's just knocking over furniture with his arms and legs. Robert Williams still has kind of that, I don't even think he knows what to do with himself fully. I think when he puts it all together, has the right body type, really kind of slows it down and this year you saw it, both with his passing, ability to knock down jumpers when it came down to it. He's still all over the place on the defensive end of the floor, but if he slows it down a little bit and uses his physical tools, I think he has enough to be something.
Yeah, but I just don't like his health injury, John. That's what scares me, especially for someone his size. Yeah, and, for someone that young. I have my money on Grant. Jimmy said you think he could be a top 100. I don't disagree. I think he's multifaceted. He has so many ways that he can impact the game. On both ends of the floor, and he's such a Brad Stevens Celtics guy. If Brad can hold on to this guy for as long as possible, I think he will. And I think the longer he's in Boston, the better he'll be because he's going to take on a big role. He's just that kind of guy. I mean, I don't have to say much. You guys know how he is. He'll literally run through a wall for Brad if he wants him to. So I think that kind of guy, that sort of with so many different ways he can impact the game. It's only a matter of fact before 2 or 3 of those, he becomes really good at them, and all of a sudden you have an impact player.
Jimmy.
Yeah, my last point on Robert Williams is what I think he needs, and maybe he has one to an extent. I don't know anything about his personal life, but he needs a mentor, and I mean a former player, a guy I'm gonna say it, and everyone's gonna laugh, but I'm gonna say a guy like Kevin Garnett that can just get this guy in the right state of mind, train him to be a killer out there in the court. He has all the physical tools. I think he doesn't quite have the mental capabilities right now to like be as strong of a player as he needs to be on the court or off the court. And I'm not questioning his work ethic or anything like that. He might be the hardest worker in the gym, but if he had a guy like a former player that can just really like stay on him and keep on him, I think that would just do wonders for him. I don't know if there's like somebody like that currently in the organization that is doing that for centers. I know Celtics have had like big men coach in the past, and I know there's plenty of former players that have come through that organization. But somebody like a Kevin Garnett, and it won't be him, obviously, because I'm sure he's busy doing a million other things, but get a player who can sort of, mold you into the type of player that you can be and see what you got in this guy. Because I don't think showing up to work every day is going to do it.
Give me some PJ Brown here.
Yeah. How about
honestly?
How about Evan Turner? He's in the house.
How about Perkins? Kendrick Perkins has a lot of time. I see him on TV all the time.
Man. Yeah. I am going to. I don't know that I.
I'm glad we just skipped right over that.
I don't know that I believe he's going to make the list. I do think that Grant is the most intriguing because it's he's got that. So somebody, one of our viewers,
John hates young Celtics players. I swear, man. It's like it just tops out of Jaylen Brown pretty much.
Jaylen Brown.
I don't want
to get into how wrong I was about Jaylen Brown. I'll be arguing.
That's why it ends there.
I'll be arguing that he was a busted pick at number 3 all the way to his Hall of Fame induction ceremony. I've been
doing Jeff. I mean, I couldn't
so wrong about Brown.
I couldn't believe
the sign that says Jamal Murray.
A lot of people were. A lot of people were on him. I
was
wasn't. I like
100,000% sure that was a real bust of a pick. I know Danny wanted a wing. I thought he just reached at the best one available and he couldn't play at all. So fine. But Grant, and one of our viewers here, C-Mac, put downside PJ Tucker, upside Draymond Green. I think upside PJ.
Oh, the Draymond.
People love the Draymond comparisons. I think upside PJ Tucker.
They're accurate. I see it.
I think I think the ceiling is PJ Tucker, but I think the oh my God, could he be Draymond is the best case scenario. I don't think he's as athletic as Draymond, but
no, he doesn't have.
Well, he's not going to be Draymond with
close to the similar personality as
time,
Draymond that you need to be like that type of player. I feel like,
but he's
not an instigator.
He's got the little of everything, and I think what Celtics fans are going to love this year is, and again, this is going to play right into Bobby's hands. But what you have is basically you've got Marcus Smart at all 3 positions. You've got Marcus Smart as Marcus Smart at guard. You've got Grant Williams playing Marcus Smart at the small forward, and then you've got Tristan Thompson playing the role of Marcus Smart as the big man. So you're going to have a lot of this. God rest his soul. This would have been Tommy. Tommy would have had so many Tommy points to hand out this year to this team because of these guys. Because you're going to have a lot of those guys that do that thing that these guys do. But I think Grant Williams has the profile to be able to kind of Draymond light sort of thing, shoot some, play some defense, switchable, come up with buckets when you need it, play the defense, grab the rebounds, kind of be that guy where the stats are never going to be through the roof, but his value is going to exceed, what the numbers show.
Well, is that going to get you on the top 100 list though? Tommy
it can.
I hope so.
On the right team.
We'll be giving out Tommy awards in memory, hopefully, this season.
Yeah, Bobby.
Feels like he'll get more time at the 4 this year. That should help him. He had to play a lot of center last year, which I didn't think suited him all that well. He's too short.
No, but all 5 makes sense when they do go to that lineup.
Occasionally. I thought it worked out 3 or 4 times last year. It worked out for minutes in that Miami series, but I like to see him at the 4 because he's got some perimeter qualities. His 3-point shot really came around by the end of the year. I like him, but I'm with Jimmy. The burst, the explosion's not there. Like when we talk about Draymond, I go back to that Western Conference Finals in 2019 where he just took over, taking it full court.
Yeah,
like the explosion of
years he didn't have that. Our first 3 years he didn't have that.
Hey, and Grant definitely lost some weight coming back. I've seen him in the videos and everything like that. Like he's definitely gotten a little more chiseled. He had more, plump qualities to him last year. So steps taken. But again, last year it's spot up shooting and that 15-foot post up game for him. There wasn't a ton to him offensively. But when we start thinking about the team this year, everybody defends. Everybody on the floor, everybody in the rotation is going to defend. And that's why we talk about Nesmith a little bit. doesn't feel like he's going to be in the rotation right now because of his defensive attributes. As Stevens isn't seeing it right now from him the way he's talked about him this week.
So we're going to be seeing
you knew that though. So what you knew that you knew that's what you were getting in him, right?
Drafted like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. He's got potential there. We talked about that on draft night. Apparently, he's not seeing it. I mean, when Brad said today he was having trouble just getting up and down the floor when he first got in the camp, I mean, there's a message being sent there to some degree. Like, he's just lower your expectations for Nesmith coming in.
Yeah, for me, it's not the defense I'm worried about with the Celtics. It's the offense. Like, how do you put up 113 points? Like, can you even duplicate what you did last year? Chances are you can't. I mean, and
no, you're a different team.
You know, people forget Celtics were one of the top scoring teams in the East. That's not going to necessarily be the case now. You know, there's new talent now. You know, there's teams that are going to be able to put up more points, and the Celtics will be able to defend at a high level. But I just think, again, you know, without Gordon Hayward, without Kemba Walker, you know, those point productions, assists, there's a lot of points to make up. And whether it's Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart divvying up those points or those sort of productions, okay, yeah, sure. But then what happens after those guys? It falls off, you know, after that. You know, there's a lot of question marks coming off the bench. So Grant Williams, you know, guys like that who I envision are going to eventually roll, or probably already do heading into this season. They're only going to get better from that. You know, they'll maximize their talent from this season, especially.
So Bobby, just out of curiosity, what was the comments with Steven? Because I've seen different things. I saw him say one thing, he thinks he'll pick it up quickly, but you're saying he's having a tough time getting up and down the court.
Well, yeah, once he got in the camp, it seems like when he was first getting in there after the draft, the conditioning. Today he said he hadn't played 5-on-5 since January. Broke his foot, of course, back in January, so there was obviously.
So it's more of a conditioning thing right now.
Yeah.